Johnny Test is an American-Canadian animated television series. It premiered on Kids WB, on the WB television network, on September 17, 2005. Despite the merger of the UPN and that programming block's parent channel into the CW television network, the show still continued to air on Kids WB, on the CW, with its second and third seasons, through October 28, 2006, to March 1, 2008. The series currently airs in the United States on Cartoon Network, as of January 7, 2008, and in Canada on Teletoon, as of September 8, 2006. The series airs on Cartoon Network in over 75 countries in 19 languages. It also airs on other channels that vary by country. The show was produced by Warner Brothers. Animation for the first season and later seasons by Cookie Jar Entertainment and DHX Media. Starting from Season 6, the show is produced by 9 Story Entertainment. The series is rated TVY7 for Seasons 1 to 4, and TVY7FV for Season 5 onwards. The series revolves around the adventures of the title character, Johnny Test, an 11-year-old suburban boy who lives with his super-genius 13-year-old twin sisters, Susan and Mary, both of whom are scientists. They reside in the fictional town of Pork Belly, which is alternately located in Ontario, British Columbia, or California, depending on the flag displayed at Johnny's school. Johnny is often used as a test subject for his genius twin sisters' inventions and experiments, which range from gadgets to superpowers. Their experiments often cause problems that he must resolve, and he must sometimes fight villains in the process. He occasionally saves the world with his sister's inventions. A fourth season of the show debuted on Teletoon on September 10, 2009, and on Cartoon Network in the US on November 9, 2009. As revealed and announced on August 24, 2010, the show was continued with a fifth season Renewal which premiered on June 13, 2011. On March 12, 2012, Cookie Jar Entertainment revealed that a sixth season was in development with another 26 episodes. This renewal brought the series' total to 117 episodes. There are also discussions of a full-length animated TV movie based on the series. On April 13, 2012, Cookie Jar Entertainment announced that Season 6 would begin airing in 2013. The sixth season of Johnny Test featured its 200th segment, making it the first Teletoon series to pass the 100-episode milestone. On June 11, 2013, Teletoon announced a slate of renewals for their channel and Johnny Test was renewed for a seventh season to consist of 13 episodes and a 3-part special. This renewal brought Johnny Test to a total of 130 half-hour episodes. Background, origin and development. On February 16, 2005, Kids WB's unveiling of its new fall schedule for the 2005-2006 television season was announced by the WB television network, featuring its returning series UGIO. Poker copyright Mon, The Batman and Xiaolin Showdown, with the inclusion of 4 new series introduced and to be added to its weekly fall lineup. Among the former 3 shows, Lunatics Unleashed, Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island and Transformers, Cybertron, was none other than Johnny Test. The aforementioned schedule was announced by the WB Kids WB Entertainment President David Gianolari, Kids WB Senior Vice President and General Manager Betsy McGowan, speaking to advertisers and the media press during the Kids WB Upfront sales presentation in New York. Johnny Test was created and executively produced by Scott Fellows, the creator of the 2 Nickelodeon live-action series Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide and Big Time Rush, and the head writer for The Fairly Odd Parents and Chalk Zone. The show premiered on September 17, 2005 on Kids WB's Saturday morning lineup of its weekly fall schedule, alongside Lunatics Unleashed and Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. The episode pair, Johnny to the Center of the Earth and Johnny X, marked the series premiere. When the show first progressed on its original first run on Kids WB, it captured top posts for second straight week in total and was very well received in the Nielsen ratings. It ranked as the #1 broadcast program in Girl 2 to 11, and ranked as the number 2 broadcast series in Kids 2 to 11 and Girls 6 to 11, and ultimately ranking number 3 in Kids 6 to 11. Its second season received a slightly more number of viewers on average in the United States, 2.6 million viewers per second season episode. Its third season's average number of viewers in the United States was 3.1 million viewers. Its fourth season got an average number of viewers of about 4.3 million viewers per episode in the United States. Its fifth premiere attracted over 4.7 million viewers in the United States. The series was developed for television by Aaron Simpson, with a brief, slightly longer pre-existing pilot short produced by Simpson as well, before the show was picked up as a full series by Kids WB. Based on episode 1 Johnny to the Center of the Earth, the pilot episode was animated roughly in Adobe Flash, but retaining the same plot, and used the same, similar color schemes as the aforementioned episode, and was recorded with an American voice cast instead. The original production design was created, provided and contributed by Matt Danner and Mark Perry, and then later worked upon by producer Chris Savino and art director Paul Steck. Fellows, the creator of the series who had interested the network to the series premise, based the titular character on himself when he was a young boy, with Johnny's twin sisters, Susan and Mary, being based on his own two sisters, also named Susan and Mary. In the original pilot and early promotional material of the show, Dookie was referred to as Poochie. James Arnold Taylor said that he was not Fellow's original choice for the role of Johnny Test. He had previously voiced the lead character in the initial Test pilot. After the show got picked up by the WB network as a series, he was initially going to be replaced by a different voice actor, with a Canadian voice cast instead. But of course, the studio had trouble finding Johnny's initial voice convincing for the first 6 episodes, so they gave Taylor back the role to redo his dialogue for the rest of the first season, and managed to keep him on the cast for the rest of the series. Aaron Simpson, who had developed the series and produced the pilot, was the creator and executive producer's first choice to serve as the producer of the show, before he turned it down. Production: the remainder of the first season was produced in-house by Warner Brothers. Animation: but since this show was a utilized US/Canada co-production, some of the animation production service work was outsourced to Canadian animation studios Studio B Productions and Top Draw Animation, and as well as South Korean animation production company Digital Animation, which also provided the original main title animation opening. Storyboarding of some of the episodes was done by Atomic Cartoons. Nearly much of the original writers, storyboarders, and art crew of the series' first production season was recycled of mostly and notably that of familiar Cartoon Network Studios and Nickelodeon Animation Studio alumni, as well as some from WB Animation, Walt Disney Television Animation and DC Entertainment, and even the comic book industry, including Chris Savino, Mark Perry, Paul Steck, Matt Danner, Joe Horn, Mike Cazaly, Brian Larson, Junior Falkenstein, Scott Shaw, Nora Johnson, Milton Knight, Ray Leong, Chris Battle, Casey Mitchum, Pat Ventura, John D. Revlini, J.C. Cheng, Ailke Theophilopoulos, George Cox III, Frederick J. Gardner III, Alan Penny, Justin Schultz, Christopher D. Lozinski, Dane Taylor and Rita Cooper. The original version of the show's theme song and all of its underscores were both written, composed and conducted by Kevin Manu, with creator Scott Fellows having wrote and provided the lyrics to the theme song. Voice recording was provided by VoiceBox Productions, Incorporated, with voice direction by Terry Klassen. However, the merger of UPN and the WB into the CW television network had resulted in many budget cuts for the show, and resulted in hiatus. Cookie Jar Entertainment, another Canada-based entertainment company, decided to take control of the series production. Due to this change, the writers, storyboarders, and art crew who worked on the first season were let go, resulting in an entirely new crew managing the show. In addition, the budget of the show dropped dramatically, leading seasons 2 and 3 of the show being animated in Adobe Flash by Kaleidoscope Digital Productions. The show's opening theme was later changed for the second season, later for the third season and once again for the entire latter remainder of the series, with the opening being made of recycled episode footage. On March 1, 2008, the episode pair, Johnny X, A New Beginning in Johnny X, The Final Ending, aired. It was originally intended as the series finale. However, James Arnold Taylor had announced that it was renewed for a fourth season. The fourth season was animated at Atomic Cartoons with animation assistance from Teletoon Incorporated and Philippine Animators Group Incorporated, which are both located in the Philippines. It finally premiered in high definition on Teletoon on September 10, 2009, and on Cartoon Network in the US on November 9, 2009. Later, on August 24, 2010, it was announced that Johnny Test was renewed for a fifth season. Like the fourth season before it, it would be a full set of 26 episodes with a 27th episode added to the end. The renewal brought the series total to 92 episodes. The fifth season premiered on Cartoon Network in America on June 13, 2011 along with a new theme sequence with the same song used from season 2 to 4. Starting with the fifth season, Trevor Deville would become the new voice of Dookie, leaving Louis Chiarello to leave the series for good. This led to some minor controversy over viewers complaining about this change on social websites, such as YouTube, due to the new voice actor having no similarities to the original in terms of voice. Similarly, Ashley Ball retired as the voice of Mary, Sissy and Missy at the end of the fourth season, due to her work on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. As a result, she was replaced by Brittany Wilson, Mary's original voice. Ball later returned for the roles for the sixth season. On March 12, 2012, it was announced that Johnny Test was renewed for a sixth season. Like the fourth and fifth season before it, it would again be a full set of 26 episodes. The renewal brought the series total to 117 episodes. The sixth season premiered on Cartoon Network in America on April 23, 2013. Plot: Johnny is part of the Test family, which consists of his 13-year-old genius identical twin sisters, Susan and Mary, and his over-the-top parents, his mother Leela, who is a full-blown workaholic businesswoman who works nearly all night and day, and his father Hugh, who is an obsessive-compulsive house husband whose two biggest obsessions are cleaning and cooking meatloaf. The Test twins frequently use Johnny as a guinea pig for their various experiments and inventions in their laboratory filled with highly advanced technology built in over the Test's household attic, with most of which they try to impress their pretty boy next-door neighbor, Gil, for whom both harbor a deep love and obsession, although their attempts to come up with some way to attract his attention always end in failure. Johnny is the troublesome and widely mischievous bratty kid who is generally the cause of problems in the city, and he is best friends with his anthropomorphic talking pet dog, Dookie, who is a mutt whom Susan and Mary gave human-level intelligence and the ability to speak in an experiment when he was a puppy. Because Johnny has Susan, Mary, and Dookie by his side, he gets to live any kid's dream, only to find that some dreams are not worth living. He is very hyperactive, and often messes with his sister's inventions, causing trouble and mayhem, but just as often proves himself to be extremely clever, such as by frequently tricking his genius sisters or saving the day from whatever danger happens to show up. Johnny can be considered very spoiled and stubborn, as he gets what he wants through deceit, blackmail, or manipulation, though he does love his sisters in a way only a brother can. Johnny hates school and does not work hard at all. If anything, he goes to great lengths to avoid doing work, often using his sister's inventions to do so and often putting himself and or others in trouble as a result. As for Susan and Mary, though they generally refuse to help Johnny in his antics, they generally end up doing so anyway due to Johnny blackmailing or manipulating them, or in exchange for Johnny allowing them to use him as their aforementioned lab rat. Their hard-headed demeanor makes them gullible, and they have been tricked by Johnny on various occasions. And Dookie, whom Johnny likes to take places, sometimes dresses as a human being when going out in public, usually in a shirt marked "Not a Dog," and he is addressed by others as Johnny's hairy friend, or the kid with the rare hair disorder, because the minor character's lack of intellect causes them to believe that Dookie is a human. In later episodes, when Dookie is not dressed like a human and someone hears Dookie say something, they will ask, "Did that dog just talk?" To which Johnny quickly replies, "No, "You're just hallucinating." Johnny's main nemesis, however, is Eugene Bling Bling Boy Hamilton, a fellow arch-rival of the Test sisters and friendly pal and enemy of Johnny and Dookie, who acts as one of the recurring evil forces at work. He has a big crush on Susan, who does not reciprocate his feelings and generally shows no interest in him, often leaving him to force her to be his girlfriend. Since Season 3, Johnny has also gained a second major rival, Dark Vegan, a space warlord from the planet Vgandan, of which he is leader. On the other hand, the girl who may have a crush on Johnny, Sissy Blakely, fellow bully Bumper, the General, from the Army Base Area 51.1, and Mr. Black and Mr. White, two federal agents from the super-secret government agency, sometimes help, distract, and/or annoy the Tests on most various occasions. His catchphrase is "Whoa, didn't see that coming" during an unexpected event. There have been minor alterations to that phrase and in some cases, others have said it, including Dookie. Meanwhile, the twins have a habit of speaking in unison, especially when reciting their catchphrase, "We're such geniuses." Other recurring catchphrases including "Come on," "Say ha," "To the lab," and most recently "That was convenient," when some mistake of Johnny's turns out in his favor. The backstory given to the Johnny Test character was that it was his 11th birthday, and for the ultimate birthday gift, for a while, Johnny wanted a dog as his present, so he chose a mixed-breed dog, who was once the smelliest, mangiest and friendliest mutt that he could find at the dog pound, and named him Dookie. But Susan and Mary, since they hated stupid smelly dogs, decided to genetically alter him so that he will have human-like abilities so that he will stop being and acting like one. Meanwhile, Johnny's enemy, Bling Bling Boy, had once attended the same exclusive school that his sisters do, but he got expelled after an unfortunate incident that resulted in their teacher, Professor Slopsink, receiving a metal claw for a hand, hence why Bling Bling Boy currently serves as an evil boy genius who will stop at nothing to get Susan, and occasionally, to take over the world. Cast. Media, Toys. Cookie Jar had partnered with restaurant chain CKE Restaurants to offer a promotional Johnny Test toy campaign at its Carl's Jr. and Hardee's restaurants in the US and Mexico, one of the 4 custom-designed premiums with the purchase of their Cool Kids combo meals. The campaign ran from June 28, 2010 through until August 24, 2010, with Carl's Jr. also having subsequently presented a Johnny Test soccer-themed promotion in Mexico, which had lasted between June 7, 2010 and July 25, 2010, to coincide with the country's World Cup activities. Interestingly, Jollibee had advertised a similar toy campaign in their kids' meals as well, in form of their Amazing Adventure Chasers mini toy line. DVD releases. The series has 5 DVDs released by Encircle Entertainment. Johnny Test, Johnny and Dookie and Johnny vs. Bling Bling Boy were released on December 23, 2008. Johnny X and Super Pooch was released on August 11, 2009, Extreme Johnny was released on December 1, 2009 and Game Time was released on May 4, 2010. On February 21, 2008, Liberation Entertainment released the complete first season on DVD in the UK, but as of 2012, no more seasons have been released in Region 2 format. On January 4, 2011, it was announced that Mill Creek Entertainment had acquired the rights to the series, under license from Cookie Jar Entertainment. They subsequently released Seasons 1 and 2 on February 15, 2011 in a 3-disc set. Seasons 3 and 4 were released on September 13, 2011 in a 4-disc set. Broadcast history. Johnny Test first premiered on Kids WB on September 17, 2005 before it aired on Teletoon on October 28, 2006. After the WB shut down, it transformed into the CW television network during the second season. The third season of Johnny Test aired on the CW on September 22, 2007, and it concluded on March 1, 2008. Johnny Test premiered on January 7, 2008 on Cartoon Network. Video games. On January 21, 2010, Another partnership was emerged between Cookie Jar Entertainment and the mobile application developer Jbo that resulted in 2 Johnny Test video games produced by the developer and made available exclusively for download from iTunes, for free and 99 cents, for the iPhone, iPod Touch and iPad. The first game, Johnny Test, Clone Zapper, finds Johnny Test and Dookie engaged to combat an army of Johnny clones they accidentally created of them from a clone machine, with the help of 2 special laser zapper guns as their only weapons to defeat the clones and destroy them personally, and the second game, Johnny Test, Bot Drop, sees Johnny, Dookie and the Test twins going on a rescue chase, with Johnny and Dookie both piloting a bot drop plane for use the robot clones of Johnny's for the titular bot drops to eject them to safety in a moving rescue vehicle driven by Susan and Mary. In the plot of that latter aforementioned game, and like in each level of the game before it, Johnny has to aim and time to drop the robots so they will land safely onto the vehicle, then Johnny Test has saved the day once again. Both games are typical shoot-slinging and side-scrolling games that in all utilize the iPhone, iPod Touch and iPad's unique multi-touch capabilities and scrolling, and, as a whole, players of both games can compete on the worldwide high scores list of each level of game and competitive player. Later in the spring of 2011, the series was finally really officially licensed by Cookie Jar for a new third, and fully console-handled, video game, this time, however, to come out on Nintendo DS. A sneak preview and trailer of the game has been already included on the complete first and second season's DVD set, and was released in March 29, 2011. Comic books and graphic novels. Viper Comics announced in April 2011 that they would be publishing a Johnny Test graphic novel along with another Cookie Jar Group property, Inspector Gadget. The book was subsequently published with the title Johnny Test, The Once and Future Johnny. Reception. Jolie Herman of Common Sense Media had written and posted a review of Johnny Test on Go.com, at the time of the show's original debut on Kids WB. In the review, Herman indicated that the series is an age-appropriate choice for kids, and was surprisingly inventive and not as violent as other cartoons in this genre. Before finally explaining the only thing worth mentioning, all the experiments Johnny undergoes are unattended by adults, which allows all types of zany plots to unfold. Herman gave the show 3 stars out of 5. Awards and nominations. In 2006, the first season of the series was nominated for Outstanding Sound Editing, Live Action and Animation at the 33rd Daytime Emmy Awards and a Golden Reel Award for Best Sound Editing in Television Animation at Motion Picture Sound Editors, USA. In 2007, the second season of the show won a Gemini Award for Best Direction in a Children's or Youth Program or Series, and in 2008, the third season was nominated for another Gemini Award, this time for Best Original Music Score for an Animated Program or Series. Finally, in 2010, the show, in its 4th season, was nominated once more for yet another Gemini Award, this time wholly for Best Animated Program or Series, and had been awarded a grand prize for Best Program, all categories at the Alliance for Children and Television's 2009 Gala Award ceremony, which ultimately marks the series' owner, Cookie Jar's first ACT Award. References. External links. Johnny Test at Cookie Jar Entertainment, Johnny Test official website, Johnny Test at CartoonNetwork.com, Johnny Test at Teletoon, Johnny Test at the Internet Movie Database, Johnny Test at the Big Cartoon Database, Johnny Test at TV.com.